Hi guys, you might have seen the video, my charity shop video, where I showed you I bought this on holiday in a charity shop in Kingsbridge. It cost me £4, no transmitter to go with it, and because I was on holiday there was no way I could test it. So we're home now, and good news, bad news I suppose. The bad news is none of my 27 megahertz transmitters speak to it. None of them. I've got about 20 of them. So that's disappointing. But on the positive side, it does mean that we get to take it apart and have a look inside. Now, when I was on holiday, I did notice when I switched it on, it does actually hiss a little bit. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can hear it. It definitely makes a hissing noise. And I've actually replaced the batteries, and it still makes the same noise, but it still doesn't talk to any of my transmitters. So we'll have a look inside. I'll switch it off again. So there's my new batteries in there. I'll leave them in place in case we want to do some testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. That don't want to drop out nicely. I much prefer it when they drop out, because at least you know where they've gone. So get that one out. There we go, 3. The rubber track looks pretty good. It's actually got a little joining piece there, so it's not a continuous strip, it's one that is replaceable, if you can find the right replacements. That one doesn't want to come out. There we go. 4. Five. There we go. So, straight away, we can see, there's a pointy stick. Will that do? That's a torch. Okay, straight away we can see we've got the speaker there. That's the thing that's been hissing at me when I put the power on. We've got a couple of LEDs there, which are white LEDs for the front. We've got a motor and gearbox there to drive the turret round, and then there's another motor in there, another gearbox, which must move the muzzle up and down. That's interesting. So we might have to have a little look in there to see what we can see. It will make it a very long video if I take it entirely apart. I can see a little bit of damage there. That's the aerial. But even with the damaged aerial, I'd still expect to get some sort of reaction using a 27 megahertz transmitter right next to it. Up here, might have to move the camera. Zoom in a little bit. That looks fairly beefy components there to support the motors, the drive motors. I would expect to find 2 motors in there. So look, we've got 2 red wires and 2 black wires, so I think we've got individually controlled motors to drive each track. This is the battery pack in there, or where the battery box is. So that's the negative just there, and positive just there. Interesting, they've used black wires for negative and positive. But power must be getting through for us to be getting noise out of the speakers. Okay. I just realised you couldn't see what I was talking about there. The battery box, negative wire is black, but also the positive wire is black, and they're both going to the control board here. Control board's got 1, 2, 3 screws in it. Looks like it'll come up quite easily, so we'll have a look at that. I've got some fairly nice large, I call them power transistors. The writing on there, can I get that into the camera? Says XQ TK 24RX 2010 9/28. Well, I think the XQ stands for the make, which I seem to remember. There we are, www.xq-toys.com. I'm not sure if that says 2010 or 2016 there, just got just a little bit of dirt on it. There we are. www.xq-toys.com. Yeah, I think that's 2010. Xinyu Arts Toys Company Limited, made in China. So going down here, I think that's, can you see that on the camera? Yeah, get it back again. Right. RB for right back, RF for right forwards, LB left back, LF left forwards, and then we got PR and PL. So, don't know. I'm guessing that will be the turret, rotate left and rotate right. PRPL. SP plus, SP minus for speaker, LED minus, LED plus for the LEDs. So that's all fairly straightforward. M minus, M plus. I bet that's muzzle. Yeah. M minus, M plus for the muzzle. Tracing the wires out. P. I can't think what P would stand for. But that's for the turret, isn't it? Moving the turret. So, it's a bespoke receiver board for this tank. In fact, I think the TK in the identity there stands for tank. So if I want to replace that, because I haven't got one that matches it, I'll probably have to go to hobby grade, left motor, right motor, that's fairly easy to replicate, just a ESC to drive each motor, brushed ESC. The turret would be fairly straightforward as well, just left and right. And then the muzzle, plus and minus, 1 channel, 2 channel, 3 channel. You should be able to do it with 4 channels, shouldn't you? So that might be a project. Convert this to hobby grade. 4 channel receiver. We should be able to squeeze some ESCs in there. Right, so that's that bit. I might just have a look at the motor and gearbox, see what else we can see. I've just gently eased one of the tracks off so we can see the idler wheels. I could unscrew each one, but I'm not going to. And that's the drive wheel at that end, which the little teeth inside will go into the slot there, and that's just another idler at that end. Nice bit of detail in there, I suppose. It looks like I've got to unscrew those two to release the drive motor or gearbox. I'll just ease this one off as well. One. Two. That lifts off. Is that going to lift out? Yeah, that lifts out in one piece. Right, well that actually looks... oh no, I was going to say it looks like it was all glued together, but there's a couple of screws in there. Both sides. Should we have a look inside? You can see one electric motor just there, and another one there. We'll try one side, see if it comes apart easily. Let's see what happens. Okay, we've got a nice gearbox in there. I don't really want everything to fall apart horribly. So I'm not going to go all the way. Or am I? Right, what can we see? I can't remember what type of gear you call that when it's angled like that. But that drives the gear at the back there, which has another gear on it that drives that gear, which drives that gear, which drives that gear. So we've got a nice reduction thing going on. Can I get that part? Oh, it is coming apart. Oh, we can see easier now. Right, that one just spins freely on the shaft. Can we do this in order? Can we see it? Motor, gear, drives that gear. That gear has got another gear on it. There, that one drives that one. Then that gear on that side drives that one. And then that gear on that side drives that one that's actually attached to the shaft. So we've got reduction gears. So we get plenty of power. So that one goes on there, that goes on the back of there. Can we get that back together? In the right place. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't quite as bad as I was worrying. I'm not going to take the other side apart, it's going to be identical in reverse. That screw dropped out from in there, but we need the longer screwdriver to put it back in. That's a nice looking gearbox, that. Nice big chunky gears in it, so it should have plenty of power and plenty of strength. Did you see which way round it was? I don't remember. It's going to have to be that way. So that's the main gearbox. Right, if we want to have a look in the turret there, I guess we're going to have to take this one off, aren't we? Well, we'll do the simple one first. We'll take that one off. quite loose. So there we go, little gearbox, lots of reduction to make it slow and powerful. Okay, that'll be actually holding the turret in place. I wonder if that'll come out. It looks like there's just one screw holding it in place, but I bet there's another one under there somewhere. Looks like we might have to take the whole turret apart to get inside. Move the camera. I'm just going to go and wipe my hands because they're a bit greasy from taking the gearbox apart and things are slipping. Right, that's got the grease off my fingers. I think I can see how this muzzle goes up and down. That's going to turn round, there's going to be a big screw on it, I think. Right, here we go. The back's held in. Is that going to be a problem? There we go. So it's just like a big cam. It's got a spring to push it down, or up as it would be. And then you've got a sloping cam there to move it. Obviously that spring goes on the end of that little knobbly bit. Here we go. Everything falling apart. Right, that goes on there. Well, we might as well unscrew that now, haven't we? screw doesn't want to come out. Okay, right, well we can see anyway, we've got the motor there, a series of gears across the back there to turn this slowly. Let's see if I've got a battery we can put on there. I've got a 3-volt battery supply here. You see that turning? So that motor works. Can we get this back together? Spring goes on there. That goes in there. The wires are all getting a little bit tight. It's all going to spring around. Okay, let's try and get some screws back in. I must say, some of these feel like they're stripped already, as if somebody's already taken it apart. So there's still the plastic in the thread there. Yeah, that one doesn't feel in tight at all. Probably should put a bit of glue in there as well, just to hold it all in place. Yeah, because that's bouncing up and down. Right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that apart again, drop some glue into each plastic hole just to fill the threads. Right, I did what I said. I popped it a bit of glue. It's just this acrylic glue. I just want to fill the threads a little bit where they're loose in there. This cover is going to help hold it in place anyway. So, that's the turret back together. So in theory, if I attach my battery to those 2 points, then the muzzle should move. No, that isn't what's supposed to happen. did move. Let's do that the other way. Oh yeah, you can just see it. I just realised I haven't moved the camera. Alright, let's do that again. So that's the muzzle going up. The other way. Muzzle going down. Okay, so that works. So now, I'll put this gear back on. Got to have a round at a slight angle, otherwise I've got it locked in position. Alright. Right, that's in position. So I'll get this back on. So I could just put the power on there, make sure that turns. Oh yeah, very slowly, but then I am only using 3 volts. I'm not trying to glue it back on, all I'm trying to do is put something that will fill the threads where they've been stripped. So that one's completely loose. Right, so if we try and power that one, that's these two here. So that's working. Again, as I say, I'm only using 3 volts here, so that's probably a little bit less than it's expecting. Okay. So that works. Motors in place. Yeah, everything in place. No point taking the speaker out or the LEDs out. No point in unscrewing that, that just releases the back panel there. The big question is there enough room in there to squeeze proper RC gear in there? I think the answer is probably just enough space. Be a bit tight, but we can squeeze the ESCs into various positions. I better turn that a bit further. That'll do. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that aerial. I mean, it's well damaged, but it ought to be able to pick up 27 megahertz. If I put the transmitter right next to it, and it's not. So none of my transmitters are working with this. I doubt whether 3 volts will drive the motors. Oh yeah. that looks okay. The other one on. I don't know if there's a forwards and backwards direction to them. I didn't pay attention when I took it off. But being as they go both ways, it shouldn't really matter, should it? So there we are, all back together, but we can't demonstrate it running because we don't have a matching transmitter. Such is life.